Okay guys, so here for Amazon lesson 2, what is HTML? HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. HTML is a markup language, which means it's used to annotate a document. Unlike a programming language, HTML cannot add 2 plus 2 or perform any kinds of calculations. HTML works by adding additional information to a document to describe how it should be displayed in a web browser. HTML uses tags to mark up a document. When a tag is placed around text in the HTML file, the web browser will change how it treats the text based on the tag. When the browser translates the HTML tags, text is rendered as a web page, as we see. HTML tells the browser about content of the page and describes things such as the parts of documents, headings, paragraphs, lists, images, and links. A web page that only uses HTML will appear pretty boring. This is because HTML is not concerned about the presentation of a page. HTML does not worry about things like colors, fonts, spacings, and position of items on screen. It does not describe the look and feel of a page. The current version of HTML is version 5. It was introduced pretty recently in 2016. It replaced HTML4, which was released in 1999. So key concepts here is we just want to think about is what's the difference between a programming language and a markup language. What is an HTML tag? What's the difference between content and presentation? So key terms here is markup language and tags. So here, the difference between programming language and markup language is that programming language could be something like C, C++, C Sharp, and a markup language is something like HTML. What is the HTML tag? Anything that has like a P for paragraph, H for heading. Those are HTML tags. And what's the difference between content and presentation? So content that has everything that has including images, files, videos, and presentations like colors, fonts, things that are appearances. So HTML syntax. So syntax is the order and structure we must type our commands so they are understood by the computers. Things how you say matters, like the dog bit Johnny or Johnny bit the dog. So HTML syntax uses a set of angle brackets. So left angle, right angle, or some call it waka waka, like Pac-Man, to mark up the page. They are called tags. Each tag uses a keyword that tells the browser that what the tag will do to the document. Most HTML tags appear in pairs and have an opening tag and closing tag. So this is the opening tag, this is the closing tag, and inside is a text inner HTML. So the P tag stands for paragraph and it's an opening tag. The /P is a closing tag, which tells the browser where the paragraph ends. The slash indicates that it's a closing tag. The text is said to be inside the tag or inner HTML of the tag. There are a few tags like the image, the insert to image that does not require a closing tag. A tag that doesn't use a closing tag is called a self and closing tag. So key terms: opening tag, closing tag, self and closing tag, and syntax. So here, if you guys want to check out a little bit more, go on this website called marksheet.io/html-syntail.html, and it'll definitely tell you a lot more about what is HTML. Okay, so proper spacing, as you guys know in my class, proper spacing is critical. How to not be killed by your coworkers. In HTML, we often place tags inside another tag. This is called a nested tag. When we use nested tag, we should indent tags on a new line using 2 spaces. Look at the example below. So first you start off with their doc type, HTML. Then you have your HTML, head, title, head, body, and then you close it off. So here, the tag indicates the start and the end of the HTML document. The body tag is inside the HTML tag and is ended by 2 spaces inside, and the H1 and the P tags are inside the body and is ended by 2 spaces inside. When we use proper spacing, it's clear that when we read the code that H1 and P tags belong to the body tag. When we say body tag is a parent and inside the tags are the children. So in here, when we talk about parent, we're talking about what's inherited by the family, and you have parent and children. So you're going to see that a lot in computer science field. So HTML elements, the building blocks of HTML. So HTML elements and almost the same thing as tags. We can almost use the terms interchangeably. So here we have the P tags, and inside there's the inner text, and then so we're going to call this whole thing an element. So we call this a P element. The HTML element is the opening and closing tag and all the content inside the tag when we look into the online documentation. you will typically see the term element used. Throughout this course, you will use HTML element or tag. So in this example, we will call this the P element, not the P tag. So key terms you guys want you guys remember is element. Here, if you guys want to check out additional resources, go ahead and check out this really good website called W3 Schools. And here you will have tag name, things like paragraph, and it'll give you example codes. So let's further get into HTML attributes. So options, HTML elements can have optional components we call attributes. Attributes are like the additional properties of HTML element. Most elements don't require any attributes, however some do, such as the image element and the input element. So I want to give a shout out to some of my class students out there that says that if this video helps you, it's great to go and overview it. Watching these videos will definitely have your retention. You gain more insight and you just learn a faster way, and you could just put your earphones on and just listen and just start intaking information. So here in the attribute properties of the P element, you see you have your class and your paragraph, your ID. This is our first line of HTML. The P element with attributes class and ID. In the opening tag, we list any attributes we want to include in the format of attribute name equals value. Each attribute is separated by space. The closing tag does not change. More examples are below. Don't worry right now what these examples attributes do. We will talk about each of them soon. So here you have your image, and then you have your input. So the image element with attributes source, width, and height, and input element with attributes type and name. And if you guys want to learn more, go on the W3 schools. So the key terms here I want you guys to know is attributes. So here, just go to w3schools.com/html/attributes_attributes.asp, and it'll tell you a little bit more about attributes. And you could take some example codes from here. So you're gonna have your alt, disable, href, ID, source, style, title attributes, and here you're just gonna have the description of what they do. Alright, so that concludes lesson 2.1. Let's go to lesson 2.2, basic HTML document. So here, in this lesson, we're going to go over the basic structure of a simple HTML file. So go ahead and download the 2.1 template to view the example code. So you're going to have all these code in there, and go ahead and just view and study it. Every HTML document must start with the doc types HTML. This lets the browser know what we're working with the HTML file. HTML element marks the start of the end of the file. All the elements are inside the HTML head. Element includes the extra information about the document. The head element will include the title element. The name of the document will appear in the browser tab. Meta elements, the metadata means about data. So metadata is extra information about the web page. The meta elements have information about the language of the document and the character set of the keywords for the search engine. So script elements, JavaScript scripts that should be ran by the web browser, and the link element, this tells the HTML page that what the CSS link style should apply. The body element will include all the elements, the content shown in the browser. A body element will include things like H1 to H6, P, unordered list ordered, tables, image, anchors, or hyperlinks, and many more. So for the key terms in here, I want you guys to know is metadata. Go ahead and download the 2.1 template. And if you guys want to learn a little bit more about this, go to w3schools.com/tag/tag_meta.asp. And here you guys will have example codes, definition, and the attributes of character set, content, HTTP equivalent, name, and scheme. And you're going to have your values and then your descriptions. So let's go ahead and go to the lab, the text elements. So in this lab, you will create text elements on a web page. So go ahead and open your Visual Studio, download a 2.1 text from Canvas. Inside the body, you will see something like this. So you're gonna have your H1, your H2, your H3s, your P's, your bodies. All right. So check your web browser. It should look something like this. So for this, I want you guys to go ahead and work it on your own. If not, go ahead and form the group that I talked about and ask each other for some, how to do this. So I'm gonna go over it real fast with you guys, and hopefully you guys do that real quick. So save your work and upload it through Canvas, and then I'll push out grade sooner or later. So here I'm gonna open it up, and what we're talking about is on my end, you're gonna see a body, and then you're gonna see a H1, H2, H3, all the way to H6, and then you're gonna have your P's, your styles. So how that will look is I'm gonna go open up my terminal, clear this out, open up the check out where's my file, open up the HTML. So it's gonna call my first HTML.html. All right, so what I want to look for is something like this, and then go ahead and screenshot that output, screenshot your code, and upload it through a document, and then do how the guide of the research paper guide is. You don't have to do any references like that, and then go ahead and submit it through Canvas like that. So the lab list elements. In this lab, we'll be creating different kinds of lists. So there's going to be the unordered list elements creates the unordered list. The ordered list element creates an ordered list or number list. Each item in the list is defined with the list item element. We can use a type attribute to change options about our list. So go ahead and download the template again from the file. Open your VS Code. Inside the body, practice creating text elements by typing the following code. So you're going to type these codes in. So you're gonna have your list elements, your unordered list items, So this type is gonna be squared, and then your ordered list, and this is gonna be type is equal to A, so it's gonna be sequential like A, B, C. So here you're gonna open your browser, and it's gonna look something like this. Your list elements, and then you're gonna be on order list 1, 2, 3. Your unordered list item 1, 2, 3. Your order list item 1, 2, 3, and then your order list item 1, 2, 3. And on the left, you're gonna have a circle, square, 1, 2, 3, A, B, C. And go ahead and upload it through Canvas. If you need any more help, go ahead and go to this website here, and it's gonna talk about how to pull some example codes from there. So it's going to be w3schools.com. So when inside the visuals, inside my software, you're going to see something like how I typed it out. So you're going to see UL, list item, square, A. So go ahead and do it like that. Save it. Open up on your web browser. So this is the script that pops up first. And then on the bottom, you're going to see unordered list items, your ordered list items, and then same thing, 1, 2, 3, A, B, C. So I want to see that on your files. So go ahead and screenshot those outputs, screenshot your code, upload through the document, and make sure you have your whole name filed, and submit it through there. All right, so that's going to be done for 2.2. Let's go ahead and go to 2.3. So file paths, finding a file with code. So in this lesson, we're going to work with displaying images in our page. To work with images, we're going to need to understand how our computer locates files on our computer. In this example, I have an HTML file called location.html and an image file called circle.png saved into the same folder. So in the following code, we're going to use the image element and set the source attribute to circle.png. The image displays correctly. So in here, you're just going to go ahead and pull some example codes, and you're gonna see your image file pop up. Okay, so you're gonna make sure but now let's move the circle PNG out of the same folder as the HTML. I would create a new folder called the image and place it there. So you're gonna just go back out, create another image folder, and place your image in there. The web browser no longer displays the image because it now finds the location of circle PNG. A broken image icon appears instead. So that will you see it's because that it's looking for the image, but when you type the code in, that's where it's specifically going to find it. So you need to redirect it to that folder. So to fix this, you're going to have to let the browser know where the file is, and go ahead and update the code. So it's going to pull that image out from there. So you could just type in image/circle.png and tell the computer look at the image in the current folder I'm in and get the circle.png. So how to say meaning, so like circle PNG, this is going to be the current folder, this is going to be the current folder inside the image folder, and this is going to be the root folder, so behind the root folder, which is going to be images circle.png, and this is going to be one above the current folder. So pay attention to what you type in right here. So if you guys need any more additional resources, go ahead into this website, w3schools.com/html/html_filepaths.asp, and it'll just tell you a little bit more about file paths. So it does get a little tricky there. I had a students that asked me a little bit more. Sometimes you might not find the image, so just go ahead and just try to have the right file path, and make sure you go and look into your folder and see if your image is there. So here I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys the code. So here I'm gonna have the PNG right here. So this is gonna be, so if I click control click, right, that's gonna show me my circle, right? And if I go ahead and open up my file inside there, you're gonna see that it's gonna be images right there, right? And inside there it's gonna be a blue circle. So inside the current folder is gonna be a red circle here. So inside the red circle, you're gonna see here a red circle, and then behind there you're gonna see a purple circle. So the purple circle's right there, right? So that's just showing you that I have all three paths inside my code. I'll bust it out, you know. I'll go ahead and check it on my terminal. Alright, so you guys gonna see that I have all three images right there. So I wanted you guys to go ahead and screenshot that. Go screenshot your code, screenshot your output, what you got, and make sure you have it through my guidelines and upload through Canvas. Alright, so make sure, let's go to the further into the lab, is image elements. A picture is worth 1,000 words. So we use the image element to display images on our page. The image element has no closing tag. The image element has the following attribute properties. Attribute, the meaning, the source, the location, the image, the alternate text display, width, height, So here you're gonna have the figure element, can be used to house an image or our drawings, as well as give it a caption with the fig caption element. See the Divi school, that's a great website. So the picture element is the optional element. A picture element could hold multiple images and display only one size based on the size of our screen. So the lab access, create a new HTML file called lab-2.html. Go ahead and download the files from the Canvas. So if you just go to your Canvas, you could just go open the course files and you'll see a bunch of files inside there. Create an image file and then place it in there. Go ahead and use the image tag to display the circle. So if you're very good at coding, you already know what you're going to do. Use a fig caption and image tags to display the purple square inside of a figure. Set the caption to say the work of art. So extra challenge, optional. Use the picture element to display the blue circle with the web browser is wired at 600 pixel. Otherwise, display the purple square instead. Use the reference guide on the W3 schools for the help. So here you're gonna make sure you know the key terms, that is the image, figure, and picture. So if you guys looking for more additional information, go ahead and open W3 schools, and here you guys gonna find the figure tag, right? And then you guys gonna have the image, and it's just gonna show you guys how to pull some example codes here, and you guys could change the width and height. And then here the tag picture again. So with the picture, you could definitely pull the global attributes, the event attributes, and related pages. All right, so that's gonna be done for lesson 2.3. Let's go ahead and get into lesson 2.4. So table elements, easy to show complex information. Table allows you to place content into a table grid-like structure. In the old days of HTML, tables were often used as a way to position and structure the content of the page. Today, we are much better options for creating layouts, and tables are just used for displaying content. So the table element creates a new table. So the TR element creates a new row inside the table, and the TD element creates a new cell in the row. So option the TH element can be used to identify the header columns of the table. Alright, so here you're just gonna have these codes here. Go ahead and type that into your Visual Stoke VS Code. So here you're gonna have your results: first name, last name, favorite sport, and this is gonna be your name, your last name, and then your sport. So tables are a good way to start understanding the width and individual elements. By default, elements with the width element will grow with their fit of content. So your first name, your last name, and then your favorite sport. So in this example, we're expanding the width attribute anywhere in our table. The second cell in the second row has grown to fit the content. This makes the middle column much wider than our own two columns. What happens is we force the width to be a fixed value. Let's set the width in the table elements to 300 px. This means that the table cannot grow over 300 px, and nothing inside the table can grow beyond that either. So now inside the table, it's not allowed to go past 300 pixel in width, and all the content inside the table is resized to fit. The sum of the large amount of content grows inside the height instead of the width within the table. Alright, so we cannot see the width property on the TR row element, but we can set it on the TH cell column. So let's set the first column width to 150 pixels. So go ahead and type 300 pixels right here, and then you could go inside and type in 150. Alright, the first column is now set to 100x, 150x, half the width of the 300 px table. Columns 2 and 3 are squeezed to fit the remaining 100 px left. So here you're gonna have your first column, and it's gonna have your first name, and then your last name, and your favorite, and it's gonna be divided equally. So here you could just check out additional resources, and go ahead and open this website called divi3schools.com, and here you're just gonna see how they are labeled out. Pull the codes from here, and this is a great website called Divi3 Schools. Go ahead and check it out. So I'm going to show you guys a little bit on how to start that. So here, so with the width, you guys are going to have a table, and then you're going to name your table with the headings. And then, for me, I did 500px, and I divided by 2, so it's 250x, and whatever is the remaining is going to go to the right. And then I have my TH, TR, my name. And go ahead and I'll just put greatest ever basketball player, and then for a girl I'll put athlete, and then they play volleyball. So I'll go ahead and just pop that into my terminal, open it up, and here you'll see that it's gonna have tables, first name, last name, favorite sports, my name, last name, basketball, girl, athlete, volleyball. All right, so lab tables. So in this lesson, we recreate two tables shown below in a new web page. Don't worry about trying to style a table with borders just yet. Set the width in the first table to 500 pixel with the width of the second table to 350 px. So here you're gonna have your table. It's gonna have fruit, price, color. So you have your fruits here, and then you have your pricing, and then you have your color. Same thing with your table. You could do it differently. Your city, your country. So cities such as Paris, London, Rio, and then country, France, UK, Brazil. And go ahead and try that out. All right, we're going to be done with lesson 2.4. All right, let's go to 2.5 about lab video and audio. So in this lab, we'll be practicing adding videos and audio into your page. The elements we'll be using are video, audio, and iframe. Okay, so video does not play YouTube clips. It's limited to playing clips in the mp4.ogg and .webm. To get the web YouTube content, we'll use the iframe to embed the YouTube page directly into our page. With the iframe, our page becomes like a window with the content from the iframe page running inside of it. We're prepared to use some clips from here. You could just go onto this website and go ahead and just pull some audios and videos if you want. The largest collections of free-to-use movies, books, and audio. Go ahead and download the Princess Bride trailer and Alan Watts. This should be in your Canvas and Lab 2.4 video from the resource folder in your online course. All right, so look in the code sample below, and you want to use this to add your audio and your video page. It's very important to controls attribute and audio video to display working properly. So go ahead and type all this in. So I'm gonna just give you guys a little bit right now. If you can find a bug, go ahead and try to find a bug in there. Finally, go on YouTube, find the video you like, embed the YouTube video on your page using iframe. YouTube gives you this code when you click share, embed on the video. Alright, so in the lesson file, you go ahead and download the Princess Bride trailer.mp4 and your Alan Watts. So when that's gonna happen, it's like, so you have your video here, and then you type in your source, which I pulled in my folder. So I'll go ahead and have my folder inside, I have the Princess Bride right there. Okay. And then here, there's the Princess Bride, and here I have my Alan Watts edited, and so I do have my Alan Watts. And then, you know, I have my type. It's going to be video, and then, you know, same thing here. And go ahead, we're going to open it up through our terminal. So here you guys gonna have your text elements and things like that. All right, so here for your video, right, you gotta make sure that it plays. So it's definitely gonna play the video that it's inside, that's pulling it from. So this is gonna be the Princess Bride. And if you guys want to hear also the MP4 of Alan Watts, this is the Alan Watts right here. So that should be working. So I think that's a great way to show your audio and video expression. So here we're gonna go to graphic elements. So in this lab, did you know that you can add your own graphics even though you don't have sources image to link with image? You can draw your own graphics right in the browser. They're called SVG Graphics, and use the SVG element. So study the sample code here. So you're gonna have your width, your height, your rectangle, your stroke, and then you know what color it is. So here you're going to create a new SVG element, 100 pixel wide, 100 pixel tall. Inside the SVG, draw a rectangle like 100 pixel wide by 100 pixel tall. Set the outline stroke to black, 6 pixel to fill the shape of your color yellow. So go ahead, use a graphics reference page on W3 Schools to create 3 shapes and make them the size, color, and stroke of your choice. Upload your work to the canvas. So here you're gonna have a circle, a rectangle, and a rounded rectangle. So go ahead and just pull codes from w3schools.com. On this website here, you're gonna have your circle, your rectangle, and your rounded rectangle. And if you guys want, you guys can add a star, a logo. So those are pretty neat. And so inside the code, you're gonna see my SVG here. And then I already wrote all this down beforehand. And then now we're gonna save it. Go ahead and open it on your terminal. And so now down, you're gonna see your rectangle, your circle, your rectangle here, and then your rounded rectangle. And go ahead and make sure it's correctly coded, no bugs, and go ahead and debug it. And that should be done with 2.5. Let's go ahead and move on to one of our last lesson, which is 2.6, the div element. So here we're gonna have an empty box. Now we'll show you how powerful a div element. A div element will be one of the most used elements in your instrument as you begin your create complex website. Div is a very simple, as all it does is create an empty container element. The effects of div are not obvious to us at first. So here, you're gonna have your outside of the div container, inside of the div container, right? So you're inside your body. You're gonna have your P, and then as you guys can see, this is gonna be inside, but outside you guys are gonna have your you can have it outside. So it looks like it did nothing, right? But now we have an empty box to play with, and we can use div like folders. So we use div like it's a folder that groups other elements together inside of it. Once we apply CSS style to a div, we can give a site any layout we want. So this is going to be a little bit more focused with linking with CSS. So here's the difference between style applied. Everything inside div is affected by div style. So here you guys have outside, and it's not colored, but inside is colored. So finally, we need to talk about block and inline elements. A div is an example of a block element. A block element stretches from left to right, and it takes up all the space that it can on the page. P is another example of a block element. Think of it as like taking up one line on the web page. When you use a P or a div element by itself, nothing can be placed to the right of it, and we can move down to the next element of our page. An inline element only takes as much space as it needs to. The TD element table cell is an example of an inline element. We were able to put multiple TDs side by side from left to right without having to move down to the next line. So here you have your block. I took taking all the width and your inline in the inline. So here we're gonna go to hyperlinks. The World Wide Web is a click away. Hyperlinks create a clickable link to another web page. Hyperlink use an element. Hyperlinks can be placed around text or images to create a clickable text or clickable image. the path to an HTML file in your web works exactly like the path to an image file. So also you can subscribe to another website by writing an HTML address on the site or the page. So you go ahead and use the href attribute, tells the hyperlink to where to point to. So here, this is gonna redirect you to Google. Here, this is gonna redirect you to your lesson 2.1 template, right? So now this is gonna be a little bit confusing for you guys. So here, I'm gonna go ahead and pull these two up real quick inside my software. So here you're gonna have your div element right here, so outside the container, inside container, and then you're gonna have some of your hrefs. So I'll go ahead and put my hrefs up here, my linking. So if you guys already started your CSS, that's great. If not, don't worry about it. We haven't got into there yet. So here you're gonna have your href right here, my first file, and then my other file called home.html. So inside my folder, you're gonna see inside here you're gonna see that I have another file called home.html, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and open up through the terminal, and you're gonna see that I have a first text file in the home. So inside here I'll have my home HTML, and here it talks about the course of FSD, which you guys will need to learn. It's at CSS3, HTML5, and JS, and developmental your exam where you guys will be certified in. You know what I mean? And then here you guys will have your div. So here I was talking about the outside div container and inside div container. Notice that it's colored because of CSS, because I saved it as that. And so you guys want to create multiple page site, go ahead and do that. So I need 4 pages total. So go ahead and make your welcome page home screen. So your welcome page home screen should include H1 elements like what I showed you guys there, your heading, your paragraph, your unordered list. With the unordered list elements list with the hyperlinks up to 3 other pages. This link should be labeled with videos, tables, and images. So the video page, embed a video of your choice from the YouTube of iframe and include hyperlinks back to your home page. Your table page, create a table that displays the information below. Include hyperlinks back to your page. The image page, download at least 3 images from you like pixabay.com. Insert the image from figure and image tags and include a fig caption for each image. Include links back to your home page. Alright, so your hyperlink must work and should be able to move back and forth from the home page to each of the sub page. Alright, so here you guys could, if you guys want, you guys could pull more additional resources from pixabay.com, and here you will find like contents, really great wallpapers and pictures and arts. So alright, so go ahead, I'm gonna open up through my terminal, pop it up again. So here you guys have my scripts. I'm gonna have my first file that you guys remember making. I'm a great web developer. Go back, go have my another HTML file, and then I could read that myself back to programming, and you guys can see your image, things like that, and go ahead and make yourself those pages. I'll be grading it real soon, and hopefully guys there's a good recap on all what we went through. We went through lesson 2.1 to 2.6. Check out your canvases, pull additional resources from there, and check out all the website. And this is your instructor, and hope you guys stay healthy from what's going on, and good luck with the whole experimental with coding.